Good evening. We are going to start unit number 3 today. So all should have the unit number 3 tutorial number 1 with you, because I have combined some others with the class today. There is another small part to be done in unit number 2, but I will take it later on. So take unit number 3 tutorial number 1. Mainly online members, you all have the tube, right? Online members. Anyone doesn't have the tube? Online members, I'm asking. I see. Priyanka, what are the tubes that I sent you? Oh. Right, those who don't have the tubes, I think there are 3. Right, can you just, because you have to draw only the graphs, right? Only the graphs you have to draw. I'll tell you the page number. Can you just write down, draw them today? I'll send the tubes within the next couple of days, definitely. Those who don't have the tube. Only few graphs you have to draw. Nothing to write there. All the tubes are completed. Right? Okay. Right. Now, in unit number 2, what we were discussing, we discussed how price of a certain commodity is determined in a market economic system by the demand and supply. Right? This is what we discussed in unit number 2. We got the price as market price, equilibrium price, quantity as equilibrium quantity, and we learn how the demand and supply decide the price of a certain commodity in a market economic system, in a market, right? Now, say a good example, think about a marker pen. Assume marker pen price in the market is 100 rupee, right? So according to market economic system, when the consumer pay this 100 rupee, producer should receive this 100 rupee, right? If really the price of this product is determined by demand and supply, right? When the consumer pay 100 rupee, producer should receive 100 rupee. Okay? If the price is purely determined by demand and supply. But actually it is not. Really, when consumer pay 100 rupee for a marker pen, producer doesn't get entire 100 rupee. Because out of this 100 rupee, party is going to the government as tax. Say assume 5 rupee. So producer receive only 95. Right? That means really market price should be 95. But the available price in the market is 100. Why? Because of the government charging taxes. So remember, if you observe the markets of 100 goods, 99 are like this. Very few goods you can see in the market without taxes. Very few number of goods. Mainly agricultural goods have no taxes in the country. All the other goods have a tax. So therefore, government interfere in different cases using different methods to change this market price. And then the market price is changed by the government interference. So we are going to study in this chapter what are the instances where government interfere the market to change the market. Sorry. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss how the government interfere in the market and what are the changes in the market when the government interfere to the market. So there are different methods where the government interfere the market. I told you very common method, that is charging taxes. Government charge different types of taxes. We'll be discussing them in unit number 8 about the taxation. But here we are going to discuss how basically the market is changed when the government charge a tax, charging taxes. You can remember we discussed basically about the tax, how the tax make impact on the production, right? Supply. In the supply function, where we included tax in the government policies, we got two government policies are there, taxes and subsidies, has impact on production and supply of a certain commodity. So when the government charge taxes, when we are focusing here production taxes, taxes on producers, market supply is changed. When the government charge taxes, producers are demotivated. So therefore supply comes down, supply curve shifts to the left. Decrease in supply, change in supply, decrease in supply. So when the government charge taxes on the producers, supply curve shifts to the left. When the supply curve is changed, then the market price and market quantities are changed. This is a very common method where the government interfere the market almost in all the countries, most of the goods. And the opposite of this, subsidies. That means government gives some sort of help to the producers. Sometimes it may be a financial help or maybe a non-financial help, right? Good example, you could have heard Sri Lanka had a system called fertilizer subsidy. That means the government gave fertilizer free of charge until recent time, but this government changed that policy. So earlier in our country, the rice price was comparatively low. Why? Because production was high. Now when the government removed that policy, now you can see rice prices have increased. Last season, our rice production went down at a significant level because of removing that subsidy. The government is planning to give it again. If the government give that subsidy again to the paddy farmers, definitely our rice prices will come down in next season or next couple of months. So subsidies. Again, subsidies we included in the supply function. Yeah. When the subsidies are granted, there is opposite impact than the tax. When the subsidies are granted, producers are motivated and they increase the production. So market supply increase, supply curve shifts to the right. Supply increase. When the supply curve shift to the right, we have learned that market price comes down and the quantity increases. Matakani? Demand supply, demand curve එක දාලා අපි discuss කරා. නේද? supply වැඩි වෙනකොට market price එක අඩු වෙලා quantity වැඩි වෙනවා කියලා. right? So therefore, you can see when the government grants subsidies to the producers, market is changed. Market price is changed. Market quantity is changed. Then the second method of government interference in the market. Third, now in the first two methods, that means taxes and subsidies, government interfere the market through the producers, basically. That means in the tax, supply decreases, in the subsidy, supply increases. So government interfere the market through the producers, to the sellers, right? But there are some instances where government directly decide the price. රජයේ කෙලින්ම සමහර භාණ්ඩවල මිල තීරණය කරනවා. Right? We see what are those instances where government directly decide the market prices. Let's see an example. Look at this market. It's a very critical market in Sri Lanka. Gas market in Sri Lanka. Right? When you take gas market of Sri Lanka, how many gas brands are there in Sri Lanka? Isuni, how many gas brands are there in Sri Lanka? Isuni, how many gas brands are there? The gas cylinders part of Kiyati, no? Not Isuni?
Dekak.
දෙකක් තියෙනවා නේද? පාටින්වත් මතකයි නේ දෙකක් තියෙනවා. There are two brands. Right? That means two firms are supplying gas in Sri Lanka simply. They supply large quantity, but demand is too much high. In our country, gas demand is, because if we take in Sri Lanka, there are 500,000 households. ලංකාවේ කුටුම්බ ලක්ෂ 5ක් තියෙනවා. Right? ලක්ෂ 5න් අඩු ගානේ ලක්ෂ 4ක් විතර වගේ ගෑස් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. හරිද? ඒතර බලන්න demand is 400,000. Supply done by only two firms. So in gas market, demand and supply is mismatch in Sri Lanka. That is why you can see in our gas market, nowadays there's a big problem. But even earlier, time to time, in our gas market, there was a shortage. Hey, supply madi. ලංකාවේ supplies ලා මදි. අපි ඉන්දියාව ගත්තොත් ඉන්දියාවේ ඉන්නවා. ඉන්දියාවේ තියෙන gas brands 16ක්. ඉන්දියාවේ gas companies 16ක් ඉන්නවා. ලොකු රටක් තමයි. නමුත් right companies 16ක් ඉන්නවා ඉන්දියාවේ. Indian companies. ලංකාවේ gas market එකේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. So demand is too much higher than supply. When the demand for a product is comparatively higher than supply, how is the price of that product? Is there a higher price or a lower price? When the demand is high. Jamila, what do you feel? If the demand for a product is comparatively high, so price is comparatively high or low?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, if the demand for a product is comparatively higher than supply, so normally what happens the price? Is there a high price in the market or low price in the market?
High price?
High price. Because when the people are demanding, right, price increases. So therefore, if we allow to decide the gas price by the demand and supply, it will be comparatively very high price, like 5,000 rupees. Now it has come to closer to that, right? But still government has some sort of interference. But if we allow demand and supply purely to decide the price, the gas price of Sri Lanka will be comparatively very high. If the gas price is 5,000, I'm talking about a medium-sized gas cylinder that's 12.5 kilogram that mainly people are using, right? 12.5 kilogram gas cylinder. For gas cylinder is 5,000 rupees. Now, if we take in Sri Lanka, average household income is 42,000. ලංකාවේ සාමාන්‍ය family එක ආදායම average එක ඊට වැඩිය ඇතිනවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ වගේ. අඩු අයත් ඉන්නවා අපි වගේ. නමුත් average price එක 42,000. හරි? එතන මේ family එක මාසෙකට gas cylinders දෙකක් පාවිච්චි කරනවා කියලා. 10,000 rupees goes for gas. So remaining only 32,000 rupees. So gas තමයි බොන්න වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් කන්න සල්ලි නෑ නේද? ප්‍රශ්නයක්. So ලංකාවේ රටක gas cylinder 5,000 කියන්නේ it is extremely unfair. Extremely unfair for the producers. දැන් තියෙන price එකත් වැඩි 4,700 කියන්නේ වැඩි. හරි? So therefore earlier government controlled this. Right? Assume government control this price again. Government decide no, gas price cannot be 5,000. It is unfair to the consumers. Maximum price of a gas cylinder is rupees 2,500. Government put a regulation like this. Government say no one can sell a gas cylinder more than 2,500. Maximum price of a gas cylinder is 2,500. Right? But the point. So when the market price is unfair to the consumer, government decide the price called maximum price. This price cannot go over and above this. This product cannot be sold at a price higher than this. It's a punishable offense. This is some sort of law, right? We call it as maximum controlled price, maximum price simply. This is one way where the government directly decide the price when the market price is unfair to the consumer. Okay, look at this market. This is opposite like gas than gas market. Paddy market. What are the suppliers in paddy market? Farmers. Farmers supply paddy. See, in our country, there are roughly 1 million farmers. I'm talking paddy farmers. There are 1 million paddy farmers in Sri Lanka. Who demand the paddy? Do we? No, people don't buy paddy, people buy rice. Paddy purchase karane rice mill owners la kila kattiya. Rice mill owners. Right? Lankawe, Pradhana rice mill owners la 4 denai. There are 4. ඔයාලා අහලා තියෙයි සමහර විට. ඔය brands ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා. එකෙක් තමයි අරලිය කියලා brand එකක් market එකේ තියෙනවා. That's a brother of Mr. Maithripala Sirisena. His name called Daddy Sirisena. Right? And there's another person who is a minister of the government, who was a minister of the government. Right? Like these 4 people now. So they are rich and they have a big power in the market. They have political power. They can do whatever they want in the market. And there are some other few rice mill owners. They are small scale owners. But market is entirely controlled by these 4 people. 4 brands. Right? So, when the supply is comparatively higher than demand in the market එකක සාපේක්ෂව supply එක වැඩි නම් ඒ මාකට් එකේ price එක අඩුයි. Right? So therefore, if we allow paddy price to be decided by the market forces, paddy price, the price will be comparatively less, like say 25 rupee for a paddy kilogram, which is unfair to the farmers. Really unfair to the farmers. Because farmers cost even more than this 25 rupee. Right? So then here government has to interfere the market to protect the farmers. What should the government do? Should the government decide the price below 25 or above 25? What do you feel? Shara? Should the government decide the price below 25 or above 25? Shara?
So can you repeat the question?
Question is to protect the farmers when this 25 rupee is unfair to the farmers. Should the government decide a price below or less than 25 or higher than 25?
Less than.
This 25 rupee is unfair to the farmers. Sandhi? Sandhamini? Amit, what do you feel?
Above 25.
Yes, because now this 25 rupee is not fair for the farmers. They are cost even more than 25 rupees. So government should decide the price which is over and above 25. 25 rupees. Make a producer to madi. Making cost cut cover karaganda. Right? So therefore there should be a price over and above 25. So assume government decide it as 40. Government says no one can buy a paddy kilogram less than 40 rupees. Minimum price of a paddy kilogram is 40 rupees. කිසි කෙනෙකුට ඊට වඩා අඩු මිලකට paddy purchase කරන්න බෑ. Illegal. Right? That's called minimum control price. That means price cannot be reduced less than that amount. So government decide a minimum control price to protect the producers. When the market price is comparatively low, when the market price is comparatively low, it is unfair to the producers. When the price is unfair to the producers, government decide the price which is over and above the market price. Okay. So then there are two ways that the government directly control the prices: maximum price control and minimum price control. Maximum price control to help the consumers. Minimum price control is to help the producers. Right? That's the third method of government interference in the market. We are going to discuss it in detail also. The fourth method is this: stabilizing prices. Now you can see in our country, in some seasons, some agricultural goods like some vegetable or fruits, right? So prices come down to very low level. Some kind of vegetable. Another period, price goes to a very high level. High fluctuations of prices. Sometimes they come down to very low level. And another season it increase up to very high level. So this is not good. Prices can have small changes like this. But if the prices are highly increasing and highly decreasing, it's not good. It's not good at all. Right? This normally happen in agricultural goods in a country. If you take agricultural goods, they are inelastic in demand as well as supply. Demand is inelastic, supply is inelastic. Agricultural goods, their production, there's a season, a seasonal products, right? When the farmers cultivate a certain kind of agricultural product, when the harvest comes, the market supply increase. When the market supply increase, you can see price comes down. And you can see price decrease at a higher rate, see, than the quantity increase. Quantity පොඩ්ඩයි වැඩි වෙන්නේ. හැබැයි price එක ගොඩක් අඩු වෙනවා. මේ පේනවද? ඒක මෙයා inelastic product. හරි? සමහර කාලයකට වට්ටක්ක ගත්තොත් මේ වට්ටක්ක රුපියල් 100යි කිලෝ එකක්. සමහර කාලෙට මේක රුපියල් 20ට අඩු වෙනවා. ඒතකොට ඒ කාලේට ෆාමර්ස්ලා වට්ටක්ක විකුණ ගන්න බෑ. වීසි කරනවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දඹුල්ලේ මාකට් එකට ගියොත් එහෙම සමහර කාලෙට වට්ටක්ක ගොඩ ගහලා තියෙනවා. අවසර වීසි කරලා යනවා. ඇවිල්ලා අලි කාලේ යනවා. right විකුණ ගන්න බෑ. ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් එක වැඩි. ප්‍රයිස් එක ගොඩක් අඩු වෙනවා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලාද? ඔය තැන් වල පාරායින් මිනිස්සු දැන් විකුණන මේ කාලේට වට්ටක්කයි. දර ඉතන්නක ෆාමර්ස්ලා නේ ඒ වගේ ප්‍රොඩක්ට් එකක් ප්‍රොඩියුස් කරලා මහන්සි වෙලා වගා කරලා අන්තිමට වීසි කරනවා නම් so it is a terrible issue loss to the country. Resources are wasted in a country. Farmers are in trouble, right? So why? Because if you take certain agricultural goods, now all the farmers, what do? All the farmers in a certain village or a certain area, they do cultivate only one thing. And Boma, එක කාලයකට වට්ටක්ක වවනවා. එක කාලයකට කොමඩු වවනවා. හරි? ඒතර production එක වැඩි වෙනවා. ඉතින් කරන්න දෙන්නේ. So farmers have no knowledge about what happened market, supply වැඩි වෙනාම price එක අඩු වෙනවා කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ economics එකෙන් ගන්න නෑනේ. right? නිසා මේ මිනිස්සුන්ව දැනුවත් කරන්න ඕන. මේ මිනිස්සුන්ට කියන්න ඕන ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඔක්කොම වට්ටක්ක වගා කරන්න එපා. ටික දෙනෙක් වට්ටක්ක වගා කරන්න. ටික දෙනෙක් පිපිඤ්ඤා වගා කරන්න. එහෙමilla හොඳ ඇඩ්වයිස් එකක් දෙන්න. දැන් කවුද ඇඩ්වයිස් එක දෙන්නේ ඉන්නේ ලංකාවේ? So in Sri Lanka, each and every village has 3 government officers. There are 3 government officers in each and every village. එකෙනෙක් තමයි ග්‍රාම නිලධාරී. So ග්‍රාම නිලධාරී is mainly performing an administrative function. The other person is Samurdhi officer. He's looking at the Samurdhi program. And there's another guy called agricultural officer. කෘෂි නිලධාරී කියලා කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. urban areas වල නෑ හැබැයි rural areas වල හැම ගමකම කෘෂි නිලධාරී කියන agricultural officer කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. So this person was really a political appointment. So this person knows everything about, he knows politics, he knows economics, but the only thing he doesn't know is agriculture. Right? He knows everything, but he doesn't know agriculture. Why? Because most of these people have just qualified on your level. They don't have some of them have not done even agriculture as a subject. This was a political appointment, right? So how do they give advice to the farmers? Nee. ඔක තමයි අපේ agriculture sector එකේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න. right? In the bottom level, there's a big issue. Dylan, your mic is on. Dylan, your audio is on, Dylan. Make it off. Dylan, are you there? Right? So that is a problem in Sri Lanka in the agriculture sector. So farmers, no one is there to give advices to the farmers. And the government officers are not, they are not qualified people. So then problem is there. Right? But government has to interfere this matter and to make the prices of agricultural goods at a stable level. That's called price stabilization. Government should interfere to make these prices in a stable position. There can be small fluctuations. Small fluctuations of the prices is not a matter. But if the prices are highly fluctuating, it's not good. It's not good. Like this, there are 4 methods of government interference in the market: charging taxes, granting subsidies, controlling prices, and stabilizing prices. In this chapter, we are going to discuss in detail about these 4. Tax subsidies much more concerned about, and controlling prices also, but last one is we'll get the basic understanding only. But taxes and subsidies are, we have to discuss them in detail, how taxes, subsidies make impact to the market, consumers, producers, government, and the economy. We'll take first on taxes. The taxes, government charge taxes in different ways. So therefore, we can classify taxes in different methods. One classification is production taxes and consumption taxes. When the government charge taxes directly from the producer, we call it as production taxes. And when the government charge taxes directly from the consumer, we call it as consumption tax, or we can say demand tax, production taxes and consumption taxes. That's one method of classifying taxes. The second method is ad valorem taxes and specific taxes. Ad valorem taxes and specific taxes. We see ad valorem means as a percentage. Specific means fixed amount. It's like this. Let's go for an example. See here. In case of ad valorem taxes, taxes are charged as a percentage of the price. Assume tax is 10% of the price. So assume the price is 100 rupee, so the tax is 10 rupee. Assume the price is 150, so tax is 15 rupee. Assume the price is 200, so tax is 20. Right? Okay. Tax is charged as a percentage of the price or the value of the good. But in specific tax, what happens? Tax is charged as a fixed amount, say 10 rupee for a unit. එක බාණ්ඩයකට රුපියල් 10යි. ඒක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක fixed amount එක. Right? 10 rupee for a unit. That's not changed. Say, assume price is 100 rupee, tax is 10 rupee. Price is 150, tax is 10 rupees. Price is 200, tax is 10 rupees. So, which method is better for the government view? Diana, which method is better for the government? Ad valorem tax or specific tax is better for the government? Diana? Answer?
Ad valorem tax.
Ad valorem taxes is better for the government because government can, normally prices are increasing. When the prices are increasing, government can earn more money. So most of the cases, government charge taxes in terms of ad valorem method. Specific taxes also are there, but very few instances. Mostly government focus on ad valorem tax, right? Okay, take the tute. Those who don't have the tute, if you want, you can write down. Otherwise, I will send you the copy of the note, image of the notes, right? But only very few don't have the tute, others have. Yeah, take the tute. Unit 3, tutorial number 1. Wait. This is in page number 3. That means, sorry. Before that, write down in page number 3. On the top, there are 4 boxes. Write down there. I forgot to. Write down there. These 4. Number 1, charging taxes. Page number 3, on the top, there are 4 boxes. Charging taxes. Number 2, granting subsidies. Number 3, controlling prices. Number 4, stabilizing prices. Stabilizing prices. Charging taxes, granting subsidies, controlling prices, stabilizing prices. Right, then fill these 2 tables they are in the spaces below. Specific tax and the ad valorem tax. Fill these 2 tables there. Jamila, once the class is over, can you send me an image of these pages what we write today? Huh?
Okay, sir.
Right. Okay, write down with the first table here on the right hand side, there's a space right down there. Tax amount is constant. Tax amount is constant. At any price of the commodity. At any price of the commodity. when the tax is specific. When the tax is specific. And write down here in the second one, ad valorem, write down here, there's a space. Tax amount increases. Tax amount increases when the price increases. When the price increases. In case of an ad valorem tax. In case of an ad valorem tax. In case of an ad valorem tax. Okay, right. That's how we can divide the tax like ad valorem tax and a specific tax. There's another method of classifying tax called direct taxes and indirect taxes. Direct taxes means when we pay tax out of our income or when the business pay tax out of their profit, that's called direct taxes. And one feature is, good example, if we take my income tax, when I pay my income tax, I cannot pass it to someone else. It has to be paid by myself. Direct taxes, right? But indirect taxes are charged on goods and services. So indirect taxes, basically tax is paid by one person, but finally tax is paid by another person. Good example, if we take Sri Lanka, there's a tax called value added tax. So government charge value added tax from the sellers. Sellers basically pay VAT to the government, but finally VAT is paid by the consumer. Right? Seller pass the tax to consumer. That's called indirect taxes. Tax can be passed to someone else. Direct taxes, you can't pass the tax. You have to pay your tax. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the production tax and a specific tax and indirect tax. So we are going to discuss the impact of indirect, specific production tax. Consumption tax, only one diagram is there. Ad valorem tax, only one diagram is there. Direct taxes are not concerned. That comes in unit number 8. This chapter, we are going to discuss indirect, specific production taxes. Okay. Right. Now simply keep remember, we are discussing about the production taxes. Production taxes. So as we got, when the production tax is charged, what happens basically? The basic impact to the market is supply comes down. Production comes down. Supply comes down. Supply decreases or decrease in supply. Or simply what happened? Supply curve shifts to the left. Right? That's a key change. Immediate change in the market when the production taxes are charged. Okay, let's see further this. Look at here. How do we call this price, which is the starting price of the supply curve? How do we call the starting price of the supply curve, Anuja? Starting price of the supply curve, how do we call it? Alini, how do we call starting price of the supply curve?
Minimum price.
Yeah, minimum supply price. Better. You better say minimum supply price. Yes. That means seller needs at least 10 rupee to supply this product. If the price is less than 10, seller doesn't supply this product. Right? Seller needs at least 10 rupee to supply this product. That's why I call minimum supply price. Seller ඕන කරන අවම price එක. So it is decided by the cost of the production. Now assume government asks, I want 4 rupee tax. රජය කියන මට රුපියල් 4ක tax එකක් ඕන. Specific tax එකක් ඕන. හරි දැන් හිතන්න government needs 10 rupee at least. Sorry, 4 rupee. Seller needs 10 rupee at least. Government needs 4 rupee. Now, does seller like to sell this product at 10 rupee? No. Right? Now, to supply this product to the market, price should be how much at least? 40. Unless otherwise, seller doesn't supply the product. Because seller has to pay 4 rupee to the government. And seller needs 10 rupee. So therefore now, at least, price of this product should be 14. So this gap is tax. This gap is tax. Okay. This vertical gap is tax between two supply curves. Let's look at another point of the supply curve. Look at here. Assume seller was supplying 100 units when the price is 60. Right? Seller band siyak supply kara, එක බාණ්ඩයක් රුපියල් 16 ගන්න. එයා බාණ්ඩ සියක් සප්ලයි කරන්න කැමති බාණ්ඩයක් රුපියල් 16 නම් විතරයි. හරිද? Right. Now government says I want 4 rupee tax. Now think. Seller needs 16 rupee. The seller has to pay 4 rupee to the government. Now, to supply 100 units, price should be how much? To supply 100 units, price should be how much? Madara? Now seller is willing to supply 100 units if the price is, yes, 20. The price is 20. Unless otherwise, seller doesn't supply the product. You can see this gap is tax. So this vertical gap is tax. This vertical gap is tax. So if you take at any quantity, this vertical gap is tax, which is 4 rupee, which is 4 rupee. That means the gap between two supply curves, same. Supply curve දෙක අතර gap එක සමානයි. Gap එක සමාන නම් මේ supply curves දෙක parallel. So what is our conclusion? Supply curve shifts to the left parallelly when a specific production tax is charged. Right? Supply curve shifts to the left parallelly when a specific production tax is charged. That's our basic conclusion regarding the basic impact of the tax. Okay, now draw this one. Next page, first diagram, left-hand side. That's page number 4. Sorry, page number 4 there. How the message give me? Page number 4, first diagram. Sorry, page number 4. Those who don't have the tute, can you send me a WhatsApp message after the class? Online members only. Others can collect the tute at GMC and Unizone. Okay. Write the note on the right hand side. Same place, right hand side. According to the diagram, supply curve shifts to the right parallelly. Supply curve shifts to the right parallelly. Sorry, supply curve shifts to the left parallelly. Sorry, supply curve shifts to the left parallelly. Supply curve shifts to the left parallel within bracket S to ST. Yeah, S to ST. This one. S to ST. Simple T when on a maker. S to ST, close bracket. When specific production tax is charged. When a specific production tax is charged. The vertical difference within bracket P1 to P2 and P3 to P4 within bracket P1 to P2 and P3 to P4 close bracket. is a unit tax. It is constant. It is constant. As a tax is a specific. It is constant. As the tax is specific. Therefore, two supply curves are parallel each other. Two supply curves are parallel each other. Right, okay. Now let's see an example. Look at the example given below the tute. Consider the supply equation given below. You are given a supply equation which is minus 20 plus 5p, right? Assume that the government places a specific production tax of ₹2 per unit on the above commodity. Present the change in supply curve graphically, right? You are given supply equation and they say that tax is ₹2 for a unit. That means specific tax. Now we are supposed to present change of this supply curve graphically, right? That means we need to first draw the original curve. When we equation එක base කරා මුලින්ම අපි graph එක අඳින්න ඕන. Original curve එක අඳින්න. ඊට පස්සේ change එක පෙන්නන්න ඕන. Right. And remember, we did a lot of examples in the previous chapter. When you are given the supply equation, how do you draw the supply curve? To draw the supply curve, what should we do first? You are given the supply equation. When you are given the supply equation, to draw the supply curve, what do you do first? Malki, what do you do?
Making the price and QS 0.
Yes, very good. You have to first find price by making Q as 0. Why? Because supply curve is like this. So to draw the supply curve, definitely you should have this price. මේ price එක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම තියෙන්න බෑ නේද? ඒක වැදගත්ම point එකනේ supply curve එකේ තියෙන. ඒ point එක හොයන්නේ කොහමද අපි? QS 0 කරලා price එක හොයන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි පළවෙනි calculation. Right. We'll do it. When the Q is 0, when you make Q is 0, 0 equals minus 20 plus 5p. That means 20 equals 5p. So p equals 4. Right. And now you have got one point of the supply curve starting point. The supply curve පටන් ගන්න point එක අපිට තියෙනවා. හැබැයි graph එකකින් තව එක point එකක් ඕනනේ නේද? At least we need 2 points to draw the graph. අපි ඊළඟ point එක ගන්නෙ කොහොමද? How do we take the next point to draw the graph? Hiranya, what do we do?
We have to make P 0.
If the P is 0, dear, that's in demand case. If the P is 0, you get this, you get the negative side. මෙතන P0 කියන්නේ මෙතන. ඒ demand curve එකේ අපි ගන්න. Supply curve එකේදී පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස්. system. How the mother? Gashi can remember what we did. We have done these examples. Answer what we did. ඊළඟ point එක හොයන්නේ කොහොමද?
When P is when P equals to 0.
නෑ ඒක තමයි. When you take P equals 0, you get somewhere around here. This point. ඒක හරියන්නේ නෑ. ඒක negative නේ වැඩක් නෑ පැත්ත. Diana, what do we do? Examples තුනක් කරලා ඇති.
Sir,
My question is to draw the supply curve. What do we do next?
substituting 4 rupees for p value.
When you apply 4 rupee for the p value, you get the Q as 0. ඒක අපි හොයලා තියෙන්නේ. අපිට මේ supply curve එක පටන් ගන්න point එක තියෙනවා. තව point එකක් හොයාගන්නයි ඕන. ඊළඟ point එක හොයාගන්න මොකක්ද අපි කරන්නේ?
The price above 4.
Yes. You have to take a price above 4. Right? You have to take a certain price above 4. You can take any price, 5 or 10 or whatever. හරි ඉතින් මං කියලා මේ price එක 4 නම් ඊළඟ price එක 1 million කියලා ගන්න එපා. එහෙම නෙවෙයි. මේ 4 වලට කිට්ටු price එකක් ගන්න. මං simple method එකක් කියලාත් ඇති ඔයගොල්ලන්ට. When you get 4, take the next price as 8. මේ එන price එක double කරලා ගන්න. ඒක law එකක් නෙවෙයි simple method එකක්. If you get the price 5, take the next price as 10. Here we have got price as 4. We'll take the price as 8. Next price as 8. When the P is 8, you apply the price 8 to the equation. You get the quantity 20. Then points දෙකක් තියෙනවා. අපිට graph එක අඳින්න පුළුවන් මෙන්න points දෙක. When the QS is 0, price is 4. When the price is 8, QS is 20. Using these 2 points, you can draw the graph. ඔක තමයි supply curve එකක් අඳින්න තියෙන simplest method එක equation එක දුන්නාම ඔයගොල්ලෝ points 10ක් අරන් ඇන්දත් ඔය curve එක තමයි ලැබෙන්නේ. හරි? 2 points are extremely enough. Right, okay, write down these the left hand side. Again, example එකට පල්ලෙහාන්. අතරම පල්ලෙහාන් ලියන්න. This is in page number 4. Page number 4, end of the page. Write down these calculations and the table also. Your graph is not wrong, but dear, we don't normally draw the negative side of the supply curve when you draw it. That doesn't have a meaning. That's why. Right? The negative part doesn't have a meaning. So therefore, normally we don't draw the negative part of the supply curve. That is pointless. That's why we take with a price above 4. You can draw the curve, but negative part is pointless. Right. Then what do we do? Now we can draw the curve. Here you can see prices. You have to scale the diagram. Prices, you need 4 and 8. Quantities, you need up to 20. So we prices, quantities, mark and scale hada gannawa. Abhi prices up to say 10. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Quantities 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Right? Price 8 තමයි නම් එතනින් නවතින්න නැතුව අපි ටිකක් එහාට යනවා 10 වලට quantity අපි 25 වලට විතර වගේ යනවා curve එක පොඩ්ඩක් expand කරන්න ඕන නිසා. Now you can mark the points. First is 4 and 0. The other one is 8 and 20. When the points දෙක. Right. Then you can join these 2 points and draw the curve. These are supply curve. Right. Now, tax is 2 rupee. The tax is 2 rupee. What happened? This 4 starting price. This goes up by 2. So new curve will start at 6. Right? And this point, seller was supplying 20 units when the price is 80. Now when the tax is charged 2 rupee, now seller supplied 20 when the price is 10. This point goes up by 2. So the new 2 points are these. Right? Okay, we got that tax is a vertical gap. Then the new curve is this. You can see 2 supply curves are parallel each other. Right, for the new curve. Right, that's how we draw the supply curve and the impact of the tax, right? Okay, that's a graphical method. Now we'll see what happened the supply equation when the tax is charged. Supply equation has to be changed. Okay, now when you compare these two diagrams, can you tell me graphically, when you compare these two supply curves, graphically, what has been changed in these two supply curves? When you compare these two supply curves, what has been changed and what has been not been changed? Something has been changed, something has not been changed between these two supply curves. When you compare these two supply curves, which are parallel each other, what has been changed? Tisuni. Mathematically, in these two curves, What has been changed?
Price.
Can you?
Price.
Price, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Price. I'm asking in terms of a curve, right? Curve එකක් ගැන හිතන්න. Mathematically, in terms of a curve, when you compare these S and ST, what has been changed? What has not been changed? Shahara, what has been changed? Amit,
The intercept.
very good. Intercept has been changed. Starting point of the curve has been changed. What has not been changed? Adeni? What has not been changed? Adara? Malki? When the two curves are parallel each other, mathematically, something is same. Malki, what is it? Hiranya?
Coefficient?
Which coefficient? There are two coefficients. When you take curves, there are two changes, intercept and the slope. Intercept has been changed, slope has not been changed. That's why two curves are parallel to each other. The two curves are parallel to each other, slope is constant. Right? So we should be able to show that change using equations. We see how to present this change using equations and to build up new supply equation due to tax. So as we have got, this is the supply equation before tax. Normal supply equation. Now the logic is this. Now assume price of this product is 10 rupee. Price is 10 rupee. Okay. If there is no tax, when the price is 10 rupee, seller can enjoy this entire 10 rupee. That means seller receive this entire 10 rupee. Assume government charge a tax of 2 rupee. Now, if the price is 10 rupee, if the government charge a tax of 2 rupee, seller get only 8 rupee. That's the point. That's the point. Give me a second. Okay, look at again. Now assume price is 10 rupee, right? Assume price is 10 rupee. If there is no tax, producer can enjoy this entire 10 rupee. If there is no tax. But assume government charge a tax of 2 rupee. Now, if the price is 10 rupee, the tax is 2 rupee. So producer can get only 8 rupee. Right? If there is no tax, if the price is 10 rupee, producer can enjoy entire 10 rupee. But if the price is 10 rupee, if there is a tax, producer can enjoy only 8 rupee. So we have to deduct the tax from the price. Price again tax එක අඩු කරන්න ඕන. the price එකේ tax එක අඩු වෙලා තමයි producer ඉතුරු ටික හම්බ වෙන්නේ. tax එකක් charge කරා. රුපියල් 10ට භාණ්ඩය sell කරොත් tax එක රුපියල් 2 නම් producer හම්බෙන්නේ රුපියල් 8යි. That's the logic. According to this argument, we can build up the new supply equation like this. QST equals minus A plus B within bracket P minus T. That is the adjustment. P minus T. Price checking tax එක අඩු කරනවා. Simply. අපි example එකක් බලමු. QS equals minus 100 plus 2P. Right? Assume tax is 5 rupee. හරිද? And adjustment එක තමයි QS equals minus 100 plus 2 within bracket P minus 5. We deduct the tax from the price. Then QST equals minus 100 plus 2P minus 10. Finally, the equation is QST equals minus 110 plus 2P. Then compare කරලා බලන්න පළවෙනි equation එකයි අන්තිම equation එකයි. When you compare these two, what has been changed? What has not been changed? Intercept has been changed. Slope has not been changed. Slope එක වෙනස් වෙලා නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ curves එක parallel කියන එක. Right? ඔයාලට question එක දුන්න answer එක check කරගන්න පුළුවන්. හැමතිස්සෙම equation එකේ බලන්න slope එක වෙනස් වෙන්න බෑ. Intercept එක වෙනස් වෙන්න ඕන. Right? That's how we can build up supply equation after the tax. Right. Next page. Write down. There are two boxes there. Write down these two there. First box, write down the supply. Make a wording එකම ලියන්න එතන. පළවෙනි box එකේ මේක ලියන්න. Supply equation before tax. This is in page number 5. Page number 5 on the top. Left hand side, there are two boxes. Wordings එකම ලියන්න wordings නෑ උතන. Supply equation before tax කියලා පළවෙනි box එකේ ලියන්න මේක. දෙවෙනි box එකේ supply equation after tax කියලා ලියන්න equation එක. Okay. Then on the right hand side, there's an example. Right? Okay. Can you do it like this? This is not the example given there. Example given there is minus 20 plus 5p. Right. Can you find new supply equation? මෙන්න steps ටික. මේ steps ටික follow කරලා මේ විදිහට දීලා තියෙන example එක කරන්න. ඔයන් දීලා තියෙන්නේ minus 20 plus 5p කියන equation එක. Tax is given as 2 rupee. බලන්න මෙන්න steps ටික ඔය විදිහට අර example එක කරා. එවන්න බලන්න answer එක. equation එක තමයි equation එක තමයි QS equals minus 20 plus 5p, tax is 2 rupee. Tax is 2 rupee, sorry. Those who don't have the tuned equation is this. And tax is 2 rupee. Find the new equation after the tax. Yes, answer okay. Amit okay. Hiranya okay. Priyanka correct. Jamila correct. Others please. Right. Sadamini, okay. Yeah, almost answers sent correct. Chisuni correct. Right. When steps to Balaganda. QS equals minus 20 plus 5p. P minus 2. P minus 2. Minus 20 plus 5p minus 10. So the answer is QST equals minus 30 plus 5p. Minus 30 plus 5p. Right. That's how we can build up supply equation after the, okay, මේ exam එක අහනවා right මේ equation එක විතරක් MCQ වල කීපාරක් අහලා තියෙනවා equation එකක් දීලා tax amount එකක් දීලා අලුත් equation එක. Right? Okay, now let's go for the schedule. We'll see how to build up the schedule, supply schedule after the tax. Right. අපි schedule එක තේරුම් ගන්න graph එක base කරා. Now we got that supply curve shifts to the left due to tax. Right. Now assume price is this. Okay. When you consider original curve, you can see supply quantity is this. Now, after the tax, supply curve is ST. So, at the same price, what do sellers do? They reduce supply quantity up to this. Right? Tax may price එකේදී tax එකට කලින් seller මෙන්න මෙච්චර produce කරලා supply කරා. But tax එකට පස්සේ එයා supply කරන ප්‍රමාණය අඩු කරලා. Assume seller was supplying 100 units before the tax. So we should know how much does seller supply after the tax. ඒකට අපි දැනගන්න ඕන supply quantity එක කොච්චර අඩු වෙලාද කියලා. Change in supply quantity due to tax. ඉතින් supply quantity එක 10කින් අඩු වුණා කියලා. So new supply quantity 90. හරිනේ? Supply quantity was 10 and supply quantity reduced by 10. Sorry, supply quantity was 100. It was reduced by 10 due to tax. So new quantity is 90. Right? So therefore, the key point is this change in supply quantity. දැනගන්න ඕන මෙන්න මේ amount එක calculate කරගන්න. Supply quantity කීයකින් අඩු වෙනවද tax නිසා? Right? Supply quantity tax නිසා කීයකින් අඩු වෙනවද? If you can calculate this value, you can find new value. අගර දිනා simple equation එකක්. Many equation එක. QST means supply quantity after tax. QS means supply quantity before tax. Deduct change in supply quantity due to tax. අර මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්වේ. Before tax, assume supply quantity was 100 and it is reduced by 10. So new quantity is 90. Like this. හරි. දැන් අපි මෙන්න මේ 10 delta QST එක තමයි key point එක. So change in supply quantity due to tax equals to B into T. B into T. B is the slope of the supply equation. You multiply it by tax. Tax is given to you. Tax amount එක අපිට දෙනවා. The B1 එක කොහමද? B equals delta QS over delta P. හරි? අපිට හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් අලුත් supply quantity එක tax එකට පස්සේ. So the key point is this. But you have to keep remember this equation. Change in supply quantity due to tax equals B into T. B into T. මේක තමයි මතක තියෙන්න ඕන. B into T. Right, okay. Write down these steps in the space below left-hand side. Page number 5, the bottom of space, left-hand side, write down these steps. Next week online class will be 3 hours, 4 to 7. Can all join at 4? Because you have to cover that unit 2, there is a balance, a few pages to be completed there. Can all join at 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone? It's difficult? No one, right? Okay, join at 4. 4 to 5, you will be doing that unit 2, the balance part. Then 5 to 7, this lesson. Okay, then write the terms down. No, palna terms sticker. QST equals supply quantity after tax. Supply quantity after tax. QS equals supply quantity before tax. Supply quantity before tax. Then delta QST equals change in supply quantity due to tax. Change in supply quantity due to tax. Delta QST. Change in supply quantity due to tax. Then B equals slope of supply equation. Slope of supply equation. The simple T is unit tax. Tax per unit. Unit tax. Hari apa balaganda? QST supply quantity after tax. QS equals supply quantity before tax. Delta QST change in supply quantity due to tax. Change in supply quantity due to tax. B equals slope of supply equation. Simple T equals unit tax. Unit tax. One example. Look at this example. Assuming you are given the supply schedule, price and supply quantities are given here. You are supposed to find supply quantity after tax, where the tax is 2 rupee. Right? Assume tax is 2 rupee. Then you are supposed to calculate supply quantity after tax. Abhi calculation එක පටන් ගන්නේ මුලින්ම calculation එක පටන් ගන්න මෙතනින්. Start calculation from this. First you calculate B value, then you calculate B into T, then to this one. Right? So first you need to calculate B value. Okay, now based on this schedule, you can calculate B value. B equals delta QS over delta P. You can see delta QS is 2, 2, 2. Delta P is 2. So then B value is 1. B value is 1. Then delta QST, another step bigger. Delta QST equals B into T. B is 1. Tax is given as 2. So delta QST is 2. එහෙනම් අපි කරන්න ඕන මේ පරණ quantity එකෙන් දෙකක් අඩු කරන්න. 4 minus 2. 6 minus 2. And 8 minus 2. පරණ quantity එකෙන් දෙකක් අඩු කරන්න. Okay, then you can find the supply quantity after tax on a schedule like. Right, okay. Calculation the ලියන්න space එකේ example එකයි table එකයි අතර තියෙන space එකේ ඊට පස්සේ table එක fill කරන්න. This is in page number 5. Page number 5 is an example. After the example, write down these two calculations and then fill the table. Okay. That's how we find supply schedule due to the tax. Now we discuss all three methods: supply curve due to tax, and supply equation due to tax, and supply schedule due to tax. Right, okay, that's all for today. See you all. Good night. Again, those who don't have the tute, send me a WhatsApp message, please.
Thank you, sir. Good wishes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, good
Thank
night.
you.
Okay.
Thank you and God bless you,
God
sir.
bless you.
Thanks, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay. Isn't you have done it?